this year. So can Tesla hold its charge moving forward? Let's bring in Joe Osha from JPM Securities, who just hiked his price target on the stock to $788, and also Tim Higgins, a reporter at the Wall Street Journal and a CNBC contributor. Thanks, guys, for being with us. Joe, let's start with you. So this is a very fresh note. The last time you put out a note on Tesla, I think it was mid-November, it was a $516 price target. What do you base this new valuation on, this new price target, $788 a share?
That's correct. Well, thanks for having me on, Rahel. Appreciate it. What we've done this morning is look at how many vehicles we think Tesla can sell in 2025. That's been the basis for our valuation. And we had been saying that we think Tesla can ship about 2.5 million units. We took that number to 3 this morning, and that's based A, on where we see the market for battery electric vehicles going, and B, where we see Tesla's competitive position. So there were a few other tweaks, but that change was the major impetus behind the change to the price target. Okay, and Tim, speaking of where Tesla is going, I think it's interesting you said in your notes to the show that today is like graduation day for Tesla. But more important than today, you say, is the real importance came ahead of today in the run-up of excitement that they've been able to raise billions of dollars to create a war chest. And you say that war chest is going to be the key to their success. So tell us about that. What do you see moving forward?
Yeah, well, one of the big problems for Tesla over the last few years is just having enough cash to pay for all of these ambitious goals that Elon Musk has set forward. To get to those millions of sales, millions of production, Tesla needs lots of factory room, and that costs a lot of money. And so we're seeing factories being built in Germany and in Texas, and that should help. But it still requires capital. And so that's been the big concern. What Elon's been able to do this year is raise a ton of money that should help fuel that growth in coming years.
And Joe, let me bring it back to you. Do you think certainly joining the S&P perhaps gives Tesla a bit more credibility? But the analyst community does seem quite split on the company. I think last I checked, a third were buys, a third were holds, and I think about a third roughly were also sells. So analyst community still seems a bit split or divided on the company. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's true. By the way, I want to agree with the point that was just made about Tesla being much better capitalized. But look, anytime you're in a situation where you're seeing an industry go through a major industrial transformation, which is what's happening now with the auto industry, things can get a little weird. I was covering Intel in the 90s when that business was in the process of wiping out the mainframe processor business. And it didn't seem like it was going to happen. And it seemed like the stock price was ahead of itself until it wasn't. I was actually covering the film business in the 90s when digital photography wiped that out. And I do think we are in the midst of a similar transition now. I think a lot of the incumbents are grossly underestimating how quickly the world's auto business is going to go electric. And that's why we think Tesla over the next couple of years still has room to grow in terms of the stock price.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.